Welcome back to Read Only Memories. It's a bit loud. Hold up. What? Oh, wait. What is this? I'm like going, wait, can I get to that? ROM component and Hayden's headset. He must have been in the middle of working on something. Busted. He must have dropped it in the skirmish. Looks like an old high-density memory card. Something in the room might be able to read it. Memory card added to items.
Hayden likes the natural light that this apartment affords. This window here is where I escaped from. It is a considerable distance to the ground below. I took the fire escape.
Of course you did.
Oh, I think I see something under those reference books. Ah, that device. I find it rather annoying that he prefers to go basic rather than entrust me with his schedule.
Like a tablet?
It is well within my skill set, but he claims he does not want me to begin to feel subservient to him.
That's
The
nice.
memory card slot is empty. It seems to be a match for the memory card you discovered.
Oops. Skip the animation of the talking. At least the robot kept talking, which is good.
We can't use it without the card. Go ahead and insert it.
We'll do that in a sec. I want to check out some other stuff.
That's Hayden's computer. Most people just use a hand screen or goggles in conjunction with their ROM, but desktop rigs like this are still more suitable to the intensive programming tasks Hayden needs to perform.
I remember last time I played, it took a while to get here, didn't it? I don't remember. I remember having to bypass the rope. There was a police robot blocking the way. Or am I getting these sequences jumbled? I don't remember.
Unfortunately, no, I don't. And before you ask, I don't think I would be able to break past its security in any reasonable length of time. Your door used a much simpler set of algorithms with a much weaker processor. I actually have a bit less free processing power than a regular ROM, despite my powerful CPU. Much of those extra clock cycles are used to maintain my complex personality algorithms.
Makes sense.
Hayden's computer has enough spare processing power to run counter-intrusion software, if I attempt to slice in.
Oops.
Frankly, even if I did have the power capability, I haven't found hacking to be one of my talents. I could, but Much in the same way you might learn a task and still have no aptitude for it, I'm not certain I would be able to do the job any better than an experienced computer security expert.
Interesting. You can learn something, but not have the aptitude for it. I really like if they could sort of expand on that. Or does that mean not being able to apply it, or not being able to understand the concepts being learned and then apply it?
The whole reason humans have always been better at breaking into systems than the systems are at keeping them out is because humans have intuition.
Intuition?
While computers can only think in straight lines, humans can think sideways and upside down. I lack that ability.
Sort of thinking outside the box, is that what you mean? What's the other word? Think laterally? See, none of that is it's not a very descriptive way of explaining the process of thinking, well, thinking outside of the box. There's not a good way of describing it.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but as silly as it sounds, I just don't think I'm very good with computers.
Nah, a robot that's not good with computers.
I do seem to have some skill with painting, though.
Yeah, we can't just think all robots are good with computers. Well, not with this one.
Hayden was impressed with some of my pieces, but I'm not sure he has a firm enough grasp of early 20th century abstract expressionism to give me an objective opinion. That's true. Machines are best at reproduction, still life, impressionism, photorealism. But I find it more challenging and satisfying to paint what I feel.
That's interesting. What you feel. It's a long way down. Better be careful out on the balcony. You have no idea how to log in. Few vintage video game consoles. Hayden was always a fan of old tech. There's Mega 16, Duro, and even FamiLink. Let's grab it. We gain the strength of the temptation we resist. So you'll probably become a rad video game wizard now. What? How? Pictures of Hayden traveling all over the world, working at a company like Parallax, and shows you'll be more than well off. Sentiment is understood, but you probably won't forget what Hayden looked like anytime soon. ROM parts.
Hayden spends so much of his time at home building ROMs, as if he doesn't do enough of that at work.
What reasons would you have for taking this? You wouldn't even own a ROM. You don't even own a ROM. This planet is doing much better than the one at home. Polls are based on your track record. It's for the best. Television is looping through some of Hayden's feeds. Tech banter, Ted's code tips, augmented eye. There are no buttons on the screen, and there's no need to watch TV right now. I've got to save. Oh, it won't let me save. Oh, I wasn't clicking properly as usual. installed on this? How do I use it? Oh, there we go. Doesn't fit, no compatible slots, huh? Indeed. Probably needs a few parts to get a voice, like Turing has. Maybe this one's better at it as it is, after all. Nope. So I can't use this at all. Hang on. Don't try to force it. Nope. ID card? Seriously, you can't get rid of your ID. You swipe your ID card across the monitor. Bloop. Bad manners to listen in other people's plants. That's good. Comparing an ID picture to a nice photograph, not so good for your self-esteem. That would be one funky controller. Oh, why did I try to plug it into the computer? I've forgotten. Memory card removed from items.
Hayden must have removed the memory card in order to prevent his assailants from easily tracing his connections.
I tried to connect it to the computer. What am I doing? The robot even said, Turing even said to put it into the tablet.
If only he had kept his information stored with me, he would not have had to resort to such crude measures.
Tomcat.
Not really. I guess we'll have to go ask. Says here they were going to meet at a club called Stardust, located in the Castro district. I'll mark it on your city map. We can head over there and ask around about this Tomcat character. Perhaps they can shine some light on why Hayden was snatched. Oh, excuse me. I still haven't set up a user account for you in my system. We shouldn't put that off any longer. Once finished, I will have an assortment of new ways to assist you. For example, I'll be able to reroute any call or message that you receive while we're out and about. I just need to ask you a few questions.
Oh, here we go.
This is an exciting thing, I promise.
I don't remember it being done here.
This is just how things are done. I'm certain I could spend a few quadrillion clock cycles to bypass that part of my operating system, but that seems less efficient than just running the setup program. So, here we go! Welcome to the first-time user setup for your new relationship and organizational manager, running the latest build of Parallax's Live Intelligence Processing System.
I like Turing's face. It's funny.
I'll need to ask you a few questions, and then you can get right to managing your life with your new ROM. If you have any questions, feel free to consult our online FAQ and setup guide, or contact our support department directly. First, could you tell me your preferred name for use in account creation, online communications, and conversational speech?
weird, they didn't do the voice for this.
Thank you. I have input your name. Next, could you tell me which pronouns I should use for you in referential and conversational speech?
I thought this was done with the first time I met with Turing. I guess I got that mixed up.
Thank you. I have input your pronouns. Finally, could you tell me your preferred diet for use in restaurant recommendations?
That's very helpful, actually.
Diet set as omnivorous. Are you sure?
How come you didn't ask me about being sure of my pronouns?
Thank you for confirming. I have obtained your physical location from GPS and will load local data into my memory as it becomes available. Please review your submitted profile information for accuracy, or restart setup to enter it again. Does that sound right? Thank you. See, that was relatively painless.
It was.
You should now also be able to access the local map of Neo SF. The meeting with Tomcat isn't until later this evening. Perhaps we should head back to your apartment for now.
I think we've looked at everything, right? There's nowhere else we could go.
Oh, all right. When you are ready to leave, just use your map.
How does it do that? Very strange. Might as well just type it out. I think it's 4, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. I mean, this rig probably costs more credits than you make in 6 months. When you pay attention, don't bother trying it. You fry it worse than Turing fried Lappy. I just want to see what the conversation, the dialogue, or text is. I continue with poking around at it. Alright, let's go. This game does not autosave, so please be sure to save frequently. Great. Uh-oh. There's a crash. Nope.
You know, your Crassula ovata isn't doing very well. Have you been overwatering it?
I think so.
It's actually a succulent, and since I'm assuming you leave this window open all the time, it should get more than enough water just from the occasional rain blowing in. Speaking of the rain, your decorative plant may be doing poorly, but the mildew in your drywall is flourishing.
That's bad.
fact, already taken the liberty of sending a request to his office.
Thanks, Turing.
And considering the broken window, broken sink, and the lingering sense of disrepair, I am not confident he has a history of following through.
You may be right, Turing.
I would suggest confronting him in person, but I have run a mesh search, and the man is a convicted felon for assault and battery with a deadly weapon.
Oh, that's no good then.
Perhaps we should bring some sort of a bribe?
I can't even afford fixing things up. How can I afford a bribe?
I will continue to formulate a stratagem.
Thanks, Turing.
How thoughtful of them! The Crassula ovata, also known as the jade plant, money tree, lucky tree, or friendship tree, is an excellent and easy to care for houseplant. They make beautiful bonsai, are suitable for beginners, and have some cultural significance both in the Far East and America as a token for good financial luck. Most likely an urban legend, but still a nice gift. I'd like your authorization to have a few tools shipped here. If I replant it into a more suitable pot with sandier soil, it should be thriving again soon.
It's propping up the window.
You just have to remember to water it less frequently.
That's
Considering the state of your apartment, I'd have figured you'd neglect it rather than drown it.
That's a good point, Turing.
Ironic, since it would be doing better if you had.
Sure, Turing. Whatever you want.
Excellent. The supplies should be here soon. I ordered from a place close by to keep the shipping costs down. Oh, one other thing. When I was doing the research on how to best take care of the Crassula ovata, I stumbled upon the persistent belief that talking to plants improves their health.
Really?
There is scientific evidence that shows there may be something to the notion, but the methodology in the studies was a bit shaky, so it could all be rank superstition.
I think you could be right, Turing.
Anyway, I'll have this plant flourishing in no time. If left in direct sunlight, the leaves gain a pretty red tinge to their edges, and it should start flowering in the autumn. It'll really pull the whole room together. You know, once we get the sink fixed.
Yeah, that's right. The sink needs fixing.
Oh, it's almost the time Hayden had scheduled to meet with Tomcat. We should make our way to Stardust soon. Your city map is updated with the location.
Thanks, Turing. First of all, let's save that. Why does it make it weird to save from time to time? It's Turing, your borrowed companion ROM / investigation buddy.
Hi.
Hi.
Anyway, I'll have this plant flourishing in no time. If left in direct sunlight, the leaves gain a pretty red tinge to
Yeah, he's already said
It'll
that.
really pull the whole room together. You know, once we get the sink. Aw, thanks for the hug.
Aww. That's pretty cool that you can give the robot a hug.
If you examine those headphones on the items menu of your Lips Type M mobile device, you will be able to play any kind of music you like.
Wait, why what? Oh, right. How come it's not playing? Right.
Well, this looks like the place, assuming the flashing neon signs are telling the truth. From the sounds of the music, things are already underway at Stardust, even so early. Hopefully we can find Tomcat inside.
Oops.
And some answers.
Should have just used the same file name. Makes it less confusing. I mean, for each slots. Now it's all over the place. Alright, let's see.
I'm surprised they're using a human bouncer instead of a ROM. That's a nice, authentic touch.
Maybe it's a ROM that looks like a person.
Welcome to Stardust.
So he says. Oh, hey, Suspense. Welcome, welcome. I'm not gonna be on for long. It's just a super short stream. How's it going? Oh, thank you for coming by. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate it. Ah, good to hear you doing well, dude. Yeah, I'm alright, doing alright. Yeah, it's almost bedtime for me too. It's nighttime here, and tomorrow I'll be back to work. So I'm just chilling with this sort of visual novel adventure game. It's got that whole retro thing to it. It's called Read Only Memories. This is like they've done some enhancement to it. It's a recent game, but they've updated it with actual voiceovers and stuff like that, which is good. Yeah, it's quite adorable actually. I like the robot. You'll see the robot in a bit. These plants are completely self-contained. Bacteria lives in the base. They take in oxygen and release CO2 while keeping the soil rich by breaking down decaying material shed by the plant. Either the plant doesn't hear you or it's choosing to ignore your attempts to talk to it. I like the sort of the humor in it as well. It's interesting. So the story is you play as a character, and one night this robot sort of breaks into your apartment. It's like one of a kind. They call robots ROMs. It's one of a kind because it's got a really advanced artificial intelligence. I think there's no other ROMs like it. It's sort of sentient, I think that's what it is. Blah blah blah. Can I pick it? Having a glass plant doesn't seem to notice. You take a look inside the club. It's busy enough to feel like the place to be, but not so busy that you can't move. It's got some nice music as well, which I quite like. It's got that retro thing going on. Same as the graphics. It's sort of inspired by there's an old game like this. I forgot what it's called. This almost looks meticulously handcrafted until you notice it's the exact same as the one on the front door. It's the exact same as the one on the front door. Door to Stardust is inviting. It looks packed.
You coming in?
It's weird. His voice seems very far away. I guess you push the car. A 2062 ZIS CR4 Coupe? Can't pronounce that word. Perfect for letting everyone know you spent a fortune of credits on a car. Nope. Not to do that. Anything else? It's a sign for Stardust. What a fancy neon script.
Hold up there. Got ID?
I gotta give him my ID.
Alright, looks good to me. Welcome to Stardust.
Yeah, it sounds really far away.
This is the place. Have you ever been here before?
You might know who the voice is for this robot. Sounds very familiar, doesn't it?
It does seem to be a bit boisterous for your taste, at least from what I know of them. Still, the noise and the crowd should help keep our investigation clandestine. Anyway, where do you think we should start? Good idea. Maybe the bartender can tell us where to find Tomcat.
Better save. This game doesn't auto-save. Oops. Weird, it doesn't pick up all my keystrokes. Uh-oh, my connections. I think it's trying to tell me something. I've just dropped some frames. It's hard to tell in this game when you drop frames, which is a good thing, I think, because it's, you know, it's not like a fully 3D rapid movement type of game, so you can't quite tell when there's a lot of drop frames. Let's see. Red World, an abstract indie flick premiering at the Castro Theater. Can we take it? Careful, it's kind of cute there. Okay. It's a chair. It's not even a spinny chair, it only looks like one. Poster for the band Zazin, one of the more popular live acts here in the city. Zazin? I thought my name was weird. Scrap Brain, a new single by Zazin, again sponsored by Arena Box. You could tell it's San Francisco? Really? Oh, because of the